Good evening, ladies. So good to see all of your faces. Hi, Karis. Hi, Breezy. Hi, Lindsay. Okay, so if you haven't met me yet, my name is Hannah. I'm one of the support coaches here with Alive and Free, and I'm going to be hanging out in the chat with you today. And so this is the encounters call with Bree, and so we'll be going through encounters. If you haven't ever been on a call before, how it works is you throw in the chat that you would like to be coached, and we'll go in order of how that shows up on our side. A couple of housekeeping things. If you have been coached in the past 3 days, we do ask that you not submit a question, just so some other ladies can have space to get some time to get coached, and then also just so you can really reflect on what you received. And then even if we can't get to your question, there's still so much space for you to lean in and receive from the goodness that other ladies are walking through. And especially with encounters, like you can just totally lean in and go through it yourself and get so much out of it. So it's so special. And so I'm excited for tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Bree.
Awesome. Thanks, Hannah. Welcome, everybody. It's good to see your faces. Yesterday, on my other call, I just turned it on gallery so I could see everybody, and it's so sweet. So I'm just going to take a minute to take you all in and just appreciate you. Thanks for showing up. You all contribute to what we experienced tonight, even if you're not directly coached. So it's just great to be with you. Thanks for showing up. Two things that I just wanted to toss out there. Here's some background music if you want it tonight on your own side. And then also, I was watching the recording of Marcus's call from this week. So it would have been the March 23rd call. And within the first 15 minutes, he addresses what encounters are and what they do. And it was so succinct and so clarifying. I can regurgitate it for you, but I really love the way he said it. So I encourage you to go just watch the first 15 minutes of that on your own time if this is something that interests you. I loved how he explained it. So just wanted to put that on your radar in case that intrigues you. Let's go ahead and just begin in prayer tonight. And I want to encourage you as we're praying, let your imagination flow. Let whatever visuals you're seeing, let them be there and let them be a part of the prayer. A big part of what we do in encounter calls is, or encounters period, is reawaken our imagination and re-engage our imagination that we had as children. And a lot of times just, got cut off from us for a variety of reasons. So even in this prayer, just let yourself be seeing whatever pops up. And we'll go ahead and begin that way. So whatever is comfortable for you in prayer, if you want to close your eyes, I actually feel like I need to take a big stretch. So that's what I'm going to start with. Whatever you need to get comfortable. And just to let your body inform your heart, hey, we're safe here. So what is the position for your body feel like to let your heart know that you're safe and this is going to be good? You can expect good things. Just let your body be at ease so that your soul can be at ease. And Father, I just want to thank you for getting to be here, getting to partake and participate in a group of women like this. And it's really special. And I'm so grateful for all that I learn and all that I get to just to be witness to in these women's lives. So I thank you for that. And I ask that tonight, the desires of each woman's heart would be recognized, that somehow you would communicate to each of them that their desires matter to you, that their pain matters to you, and that their healing matters to you, that would be really potent and just something that they're very aware of in this time. So I thank you for courage, for vulnerability, and I thank you for receptivity of love. And I pray both those things over each individual. And in your name, amen. Okay, guys, so good to be with you. Let's go ahead and jump right in. We're going to start with Breezy. If you want to unmute yourself, I'd love to connect.
Awesome. Thank
Hello.
you. Hello. It's good to see you.
What's going on?
Um, so I think the last Friday I went on the call that you can like talk to, I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. And I mentioned that this month is kind of a crazy month for me. Like a lot has happened every year in the month of March. Um, and I've just been feeling really triggered lately. And one of the things that happened during this time was a breaking of a relationship with my brother. Um, and it's just brought so much deep pain and confusion on men and on my own worth and on my own direction and dreams and everything. And it's just kind of it shattered them for a lot of years. And when I got in this program, I was kind of like, oh, like I actually have other pain. This is cool. Maybe I'll like go focus on that, because I've spent 4 years focusing on grieving this and trying to get out of it and trying to find the churchy answer to it, and forgive and make right relationship and just put my needs like down so I can maintain peace, because as far as it depends on you, like keep the peace. And recently my brother had his first child, so it became even more like, oh my gosh, like there's another person, like I really want this relationship to be reconciled, but they're very narcissistic and very just difficult to be around, and him and his wife. And yeah, so I was just kind of wondering if I could share a little bit of the story and then maybe be taken into an encounter. I don't really know what I need, but I just know that I need to revisit it because it's got a hold on me.
Yeah.
And I want to say that I've forgiven, but I know it still is affecting me
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
And I just don't want it to, so that's why I've been avoiding it, I think, but it's reality.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I really love that you had two powerful asks there. Can I share the story? Can I get this out? And then can I also be walked through an encounter? And I want to highlight that because I think that's really important in all of our processes, that we begin to identify what we need. So I think that's awesome that you're able to do that. Is it a story that you feel like you can fit into 10 minutes? I don't want to limit you, but I just kind of want to see, in terms of sharing and just the scope of the evening, like what you're needing and what you feel like the space is needed or required for that.
Yeah. I guess maybe what would be better is kind of bullet pointing like the pain points.
Okay.
And then maybe we can walk through an encounter after I bullet point some pain points.
That sounds great. Yeah. That sounds great. And I want to say, I think you being heard in the fullness of the story could be really important. That can happen a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Writing it out, connecting with another woman in the group, something like that. We can brainstorm what that might look like for you further, but I think that could be important in addition to this.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I have been feeling that.
Yeah.
Time, but yeah, so basically my brother and I went to the same school. He left my junior year and he went to the same college that I was kind of dreaming about going my whole life, and he wasn't. And then he decided to study the thing I was going to study. So that was kind of a hit. And then I was like, oh, whatever, like he's going to be there. This is going to be great. And then I got there and he was in a relationship and had been through a bunch of crazy trauma himself before I got there. And he had told everybody about me and just said like, can't wait till you meet my sister. Like she's this amazing person. So I had this like high stakes expectation where people are meeting me and they're like, you're Peter Rothermouth's sister. And it was like really cool at first. But yeah, through the whole time, I didn't hit it off with his girlfriend at the time. And then he obviously had to choose sides there in a way, just because it was high stakes. And I was kind of the communicator for my parents and him. And so I was just kind of the middle ground. And yeah, I guess the biggest thing was this change of perspective of telling everybody about me and how awesome I was, and then shifting to you're not so awesome anymore, and then her coming at me and saying how terrible I am. And then yeah, just this whole shift of like my brother who loves me to my brother who does not so sure about me and can't protect me from her because he's, that's his girlfriend. And then they ended up marrying and eloping, and I kind of called them out like, what are you guys doing? Like, don't you want to include us? And then they didn't tell me about it. And then I just was wrecked because I was like, I'm gonna have to deal with this person forever. And it's true.
Yeah.
And it just was pretty toxic, and now it's just like fake communication. Yeah, and I'm on week 8 of like confrontation.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's stirring a lot because I've sort of confronted them, but I also sort of didn't. And I kind of want to figure out how to get my heart ready for that, because I think when I did confront them, I was kind of more suicidal, like crazy depression kind of stuff. So I didn't know what I needed in that moment for healing. It was more just like, you've wrecked my life. Yeah, so I think it's affected a lot of my self-worth. It's affected like my trust with men, and I know that's been carried out with even my boyfriend. And my brother doesn't ask me how I'm doing. He always talks about himself. And so even when my boyfriend doesn't say, how was your day? I'm just like spun out.
Yeah.
And so that's how I knew it's still crazy. Because like he didn't ask me how my day was a couple of days ago, and I was just spun out. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, I can be okay without that. Yeah, so it was just like, and I did see them over Christmas. And that was just very fake and very like, you have a baby, let me love on it. Let's try and make this work. Yeah, so I don't know exactly where to enter in, but I know like I need to learn to not have to let their thoughts or opinions affect me, even if I want to share. And I still feel very tender when they speak words over me, I think. So I would love coaching on like releasing that power of their words or something like that.
Yeah.
Or just even just their non-words. I don't know if that's a word, but like lack of communication also.
Yep. Totally. I'm really glad that you brought this here. And I think it's really interesting that you're like, this has been my main pain, and then it kind of went into the background and now it's like at the forefront again. I think you could look at that as, your healing is progressing, and so your heart's actually ready to release and like deal and feel with this. So I think you could look at it as a good sign. I'm not saying it's comfortable over there feeling all this. Like, I don't want to pretend, that that's not going on, but I think that's really cool that it's like back in the forefront and something you want to process through. You made a statement at the very beginning that really stood out to me. As far as it depends on me, I'll keep the peace. And that sounds like that very much sounds like a belief system. Do you feel that belief system connects to this situation with your brother?
I think for a lot of years it did. And then I just realized like, I'm not very good at faking my emotions. And so I think it came out where I was like trying and trying and trying. And then it just turned into bitterness and resentment and withdrawing.
Totally.
And I still think there's bitterness. Like, I still think it's like, what would have happened if I hadn't gone through that? I've always kind of felt like my college years were stolen because of that.
Yeah. So there was something really, really tender that you shared with your brother, it sounds like, before this all happened.
Yeah.
There was a lot of connection and a lot of
we were captains together. We went to the same small school. We had the same friend group, like very involved. And only like sophomore, junior year. And then he left. And then my school closed and all this crazy dramatic stuff happened with my family when he left. So, and my dad had back surgery and stuff. So it was just like, he left me hanging. And then I'm like, okay, you're finally ready to pick me up. And you don't. So I think there is just like a lot of high hopes too of like, I've been struggling without you and now I'm finally back with you. And yeah, not so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and just explore this in an encounter and see kind of where this pain stemmed from. You talked about, how do I release the power of their words and their non-words, which I thought was a great way to describe it. I know what you mean. Like, it sounds like you're feeling like there's potential judgments they have about you. Mm-hmm. And I was listening to Sam and Spence coach on this last night, where they were just saying, like, whether it's a real judgment that somebody across the room is making about you, or it's your perception that they're judging you, like either way, your body, your soul is reacting the same, right? And you'll never actually be able to prove what's happening in that other person's brain. So to actually deal with what's happening inside of you is really important, whether it's a perceived judgment or a real judgment. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, and I honestly, once you say that, I start to think about even this idea that they don't think about me. And that hurts too, of like, I keep thinking, like, for a while, it's like, oh, they must be thinking this, they must be thinking this, they must be thinking that. And then my grandma was like, I don't think they're thinking as much about you as you think. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, it's interesting that you say that, because now I'm starting to think like, that hurts too, you know?
Absolutely. That's so real and honest. Yeah, that's so real. The powerful thing that Sam and Spence were reminding me last night of was like, those judgments, real or perceived, when they have a landing pad inside of us, if it's something we're already concerned that maybe we're worth judging over, those things have a place to land. So if we can like deal and process and love on those places that feel insecure like that, I think that tendency to be really worried about what other people are thinking can kind of dissipate, if that makes sense. Like the more we are able to receive that love. So I do kind of want to focus on you in this encounter and kind of set brother and sister-in-law on the shelf. Not that they don't matter or not that they don't play a part in this, but for you, there's something your heart didn't get probably at a young age, so that you could feel secure in this attachment with your brother. That may or may not be true. That's kind of what I want to explore with you. So yeah, does that sound like an okay direction to go in?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Cool. So yeah, get yourself comfortable. And I just want you to take some deep breaths, and I want you to breathe in for 4, hold it for 4, and then breathe out for 8, if that makes sense. Just take some time, and anybody can follow along with that. You're breathing in, count to 4, you're holding it for 4, and then you're exhaling for 8, okay? Yeah, just keep going. You're doing great. Yeah, and just as you keep breathing, Breezy, I just want to speak to your heart and just say, this really matters to you. And I just want to acknowledge that this pain is speaking to you because this relationship meant a lot to you. It still does mean a lot to you. Yeah. Yeah. It was a very unique and special bond. Yeah. So Jesus, by your Spirit, just want to ask, which age of Breezy, 0 to 7, needs help here? Which one is looking for help? Breezy, just pay attention to any impressions or memories that pop up.
I think my mind went to two, both having to do with my brother blaming me for something and me just trying to get his attention. Like playing tag, and then I think I got rough and like pushed him and he hurt himself, and then I got really, really in trouble. Yeah. And then also I stomped on his Lego truck, which probably didn't feel great on my foot, but just because he was so zoned into the TV and I wanted his attention. Yeah, so I think of like 2 times where I like probably messed with him. I'm sure if you went through an encounter, it would be just as entertaining. Yeah, and just I know I wanted his attention, which I didn't get for a lot of years, and so that's why I think when I did, it was so precious to me.
Yeah. So the Lego truck, about how old were you when you did that?
Maybe like 3rd grade.
About like 8 or 9. Does that sound right?
Maybe 2nd.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
That's okay.
I know I was young.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know like the reason why I was like staying with people was because my parents were working through like their own marriage problems, which I didn't know at the time. So I know it was kind of like a weird vibe anyway.
Yeah. I mean, that makes a ton of sense.
So I was probably craving a lot like his attention because they were pretty focused on trying to stay together.
Yeah. And he's your only sibling?
Unfortunately.
Yeah. No, just clarifying.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Like, yeah, little girls can pick up the vibe in the home, whether they can interpret it or not. And if you were needing some more security inside of your family connections at that time, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I realized that, but I know I wanted his attention. I know like I've always felt like he was more like seen or favored. Just because he was in some ways more behaved than me. I was more energetic. And that temperament kind of threw people off.
I just heard the word acceptance. And I just want you to check in with yourself and see if that resonates at all.
I think of just like a lot of competition with my brother. And yeah, probably feeling like the odd one in the family. So probably more acceptance would be tied with like lack of.
Yeah. So Holy Spirit, just one more time. What memory is the origin of this insecurity in her family, where she felt like she had to compete or earn the acceptance of her family members? It's so okay if you're not sensing anything, but I just want to check in and see if anything's popping up for you.
I think you already know this. I hate this. I know before then, before 2nd grade, I probably felt that way and I can't pinpoint like when it started, but I know second grade was the prover piece that I needed to say, oh, I thought that they were thinking this and now I know.
Yeah.
So I know somewhere, and I'm not sure, but I know that at second grade that was proven to me.
That little girl inside of you before second grade, what is she afraid of?
I just know that the house I was in was really dark, and I don't know what it is, but I really don't think, I think something bad happened there. And I know, like, when I moved from that house, I remember feeling like, oh, I'm kind of safe now. And I can only think of like one man that really scared me when I was there. And I don't know what happened, but yeah, I know that like my parents were inconsistent at home, and there was probably a lot of rage from my mom. Yeah, even just little things like getting in trouble for getting like paint on my outfit when I'm probably really little.
So when you picture little Breezy in that dark house, what is she feeling?
Like looking for an escape or a way out. Like a lot of like confusion.
Yeah.
Like, why am I like here? What? Just like lack of safety.
Yeah. So I want you to see her in that house and just kind of describe to me how you see her.
Definitely wide-eyed. It's so interesting. I just like, I don't have a lot of ability to visualize, which is unusual for me. I know, I think of like exploration. Honestly, like it feels pretty like blank.
That's okay. Yeah. So okay.
I honestly feel like it's like a missing puzzle piece.
That scene? Yeah. Okay. I just want you to see Jesus walking up to that puzzle piece. And then just tell me what happens next, okay?
He picks it up and it's honestly kind of battered, like I don't know, like bent or like might not quite fit. I mean, I'm glad that he picked it up.
Yeah. I want you to ask him, Jesus, what do I need to know about this puzzle piece?
Jesus, what do I need to know about this puzzle piece? I'm kind of heard like it's gonna take a second. I kind of feel like it's like a Sherlock Holmes Jesus, like inspecting. Like, what happened to this?
That's really good.
Kind of like, let's get this like back to where it belongs. And then I just feel like, but like, where is that?
Mhm. Yeah. Looks like that's bringing up emotion. Yeah. Yeah. What's happening inside?
Um, I think that's like been my big question right now. Like, where is it that that piece fits, and where do I fit? Like now that like I'm growing up and like my brother's out of the picture, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do with my life. I'm supposed to be a grown up now.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think that connects like back so deeply with like, oh, I've wondered this purpose question since a very young age, I think.
Yeah. That's a big deal for you to put that into words. You're doing great. Yeah. Is it possible to see little Breezy at whatever age she pops up, but just see her there with Jesus who's holding the puzzle piece?
Yeah. It's interesting because my mind kind of goes to just like pictures that I have of myself because I can't like visualize the little
That's
girl,
great.
but I can see a picture that we've taken.
Yep. That's a great way to do it.
And it's weird because like it went to a picture of my brother and I in black and white when we were taking a picture in like a garden. It looks like a cute picture, but I know he hated pictures, so I don't know. I see that black and white girl that's kind of confused with Jesus, like can't even come in color yet.
Yeah. And about how old is she in that scene or that picture?
That would have been the first year of second grade where kind of everything happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of funny. That's crazy that I
Yeah.
imagined one.
Yeah. It just sounds like she needs a lot of love, and it's okay that we're in second grade again. You know what I'm saying? This doesn't mean you haven't healed. This doesn't mean, gosh, what's wrong with you? She just needs a lot of love. There were a lot of things happening that she's been trying to reconcile in her grown up body, but there's some pain back there about how she fits in the family, what her purpose is, why she's here, why is the chaos happening. And I feel like those questions are still plaguing you.
Yeah.
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 Do you feel like you can go ahead?
I think it definitely has me frozen even now in my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is like why I'm here.
You're doing great. Yeah. So do you feel like well, I'm gonna give you a question to ask Jesus, but if it doesn't feel authentic to your heart, then just let me know, okay? But I want you to ask him, Jesus, where do I fit as a second grader?
Jesus, where do I fit as a second grader? I love the question. It's like I don't know if there's just like almost like a protective fence around like, no, this is my prized pain. Like,
Yeah.
it's like I can't find answers because it's like I almost don't want to.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're not here to force that. Okay.
But I really have like, I know from that moment, it was like every year, oh, I missed this thing because I stayed back. Oh, I got the wrong teacher. Oh, maybe this happened. Maybe that. So I know that I built such a strong relationship with like using that pain as like an explanation
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, your ability to articulate that is powerful. You're actually moving through this quite well. Okay. So instead of a block, I just want you to see it as a blob. Can you picture it as a blob?
That's funny. A blob came out of my nose when you said that. Yeah.
That's funny.
Gross.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's
That-
it's present. It's present. It's painful. It's having an effect. But I'd love to invite you to see it instead of as like a wall or something in your way. I want you to see it as something to lean into and acknowledge and
It's
understand.
interesting because when you say blob, it's almost like my image is like either slime or paint, and that's something that can be cleaned up, whereas like a wall would take like destroying. So that
Wow.
just gives me a lot of hope.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's really good, Breezy. Good job. Yep. So I just want you to look at that blob. We just kind of downsized it a little bit. It's real. It's there. We're not invalidating it, but we just allowed it to change shape. Okay. This is how your heart has been perceiving it. It's been a wall, but now it just gets to be a blob. Okay. Yeah. I just want you to turn to Jesus and say, Jesus, what do I do next here?
Jesus, what do I do next here? I just feel like time to go collect the cleaning supplies.
Jesus, what are the cleaning supplies we're going to use?
It's a big job, so it needs community.
Mm. Jesus, what do I need to know about this blob?
Jesus, what do I need to know about this blob? I think like originally I was seeing it kind of as like something on the surface, but I just didn't realize that maybe there's like a hole. So it just kind of heard like it's going to be deeper than you think.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got excited, like, oh, I can clean that up. But it's like, oh, there's going to be some layers to it.
How do you feel about that?
I think it makes a lot of sense because like I was thinking like, yeah, I got this, I can clean it up. And there I am, like not inviting others to help because it would be too easy for me. Like I could just do it really quick, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense. Like, whoa, slow down. Like you forgot your people.
Yeah. And Jesus, who are some of the people I can invite into this?
Jesus, who are some of the people I can invite into this? That's a scary question.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
I think because first I feel like I'm a burden.
Mm.
And so it's like, oh, well, it would have been easy to present like the non-layered one. Someone can get on board helping me with that. But if I was to tell them all the layers, then they might not have time for that.
Mm-hmm. Jesus, where did I learn that I was a burden?
Jesus, where did I learn that I was a burden? I think like to my mom, maybe because I was like, she had such big emotions that when I tried to have an emotion, she would not be able to handle it. And she wasn't able to sit in it with me. She was always trying to fix it. And so maybe I felt like a burden whenever I brought her something because it would get her like worked up.
Mm-hmm.
And even when I've shared things like that, I'm deep, like, oh, I'm feeling this way, she'll literally be like, well, I don't want you to hurt yourself, or I'm worried about you. And it's like, no, that's not what I like needed to hear. Like, I want you to say that you trust me and you know, like, that I can do these things instead of starting to like worry. So I definitely think it was her, which I hate to say.
Yeah, I hear you, but I'm really proud that you said it. Yeah.
I don't think she's very safe.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I always wanted her to be. It's like a mom hole or something. Like, I want you to show up for me, but you can't. And that's really hard.
Yep. So there's some grief there, which is just acknowledging what didn't happen that you really wanted to. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I always get myself in trouble because every time I go and share it there, I think I'm going to get the result that I want. And it's just always not that.
Yeah.
I almost feel obligated to share just so she feels included.
Mm-hmm. And then there's a lot of disappointment afterwards for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to like dig myself out of that plus whatever I was sharing.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. So I just want you to look at that blob with its layers. Just acknowledge the layers that Jesus told you about. And I want you to ask him, what's my next baby step here?
What's my next baby step here? I just really resonate with like a baby. I don't know. I also felt the word art.
Ooh.
Yeah, just thinking like how, I don't know, how simple and how pure and how amazing when a baby first enters without knowing all the stuff they're about to go through.
Absolutely.
Like maybe being able to somehow enter back into that purity of mind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With no bias and no control and just no like condemnation.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. That's a deep cry of your heart. Yeah.
Yeah. Some safe space somewhere.
Yeah. Where you can learn and grow. And if you make a mess, it's not a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be nice.
Yeah. So good. So I'd love for you to take one more just soaking look at that scene. You've got Jesus. He's got your puzzle piece. Maybe he still looks like Sherlock Holmes. I don't know. And you've got little you. And you've got your layered blob. It's not a block anymore, just a blob. And you see grown up you. And I just want you to absorb from that scene, like that you're not alone there. Yeah, you're not alone. Jesus understands every step of the way to untangle this and clean up the blob. Yeah, you don't have to know exactly what all the steps are going to be.
I really heard like here is where I started. This was my baby step. And I'm so thankful for you sitting in this with me. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're my first friend that got to come and help.
Such a pleasure. Such a pleasure. It's really sweet. Take your time. You don't have to open your eyes right now. Take your time. But there are quite a few really sweet comments of people talking about I'm here to clean up. I'm putting on my gloves for you. So I want you to be sure and get that love too. But I think in hearing you today, you know, we opened something and it didn't necessarily come with a conclusion yet, but does it feel safe to your heart to step out of this right now and to continue it later at another time on your own or with some support?
Yeah, I feel like leaving the door cracked.
That's good. That's good.
Like if I shut it, it's like I wouldn't want to go and open it, but because it's already like kind of open, I'm like, okay, like it's already halfway, so I'm gonna go finish that.
Yeah. That's really good. Yeah. Hi. How you doing inside?
I'm so thankful.
I'm so glad.
It's been really a long journey.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that the childhood pain it can take a while to get there sometimes because it's wrapped up in a lot of different pains. And so I think you're doing a really good job just being willing to unravel it as it comes. Yeah. So any time pressure you can take off of yourself in this process will really be supportive. Yeah. You're doing great.
That feels good to hear. Like, yeah, I just feel like I want to rush it.
Totally. So that you can get on and know that you're good and move forward in life, right? Me too. Yeah. And we are. That's part of what we're acknowledging is in the willingness to look at the pain. We are moving forward. It just doesn't feel like it in the moment.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Keep us posted, okay? And definitely get your love from the chat box, okay?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Breezy. Take care. All right, guys. Charity, you are next. If you want to unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You look cozy.
Yes, I know. I had to get a blanket. I'm a little chilly.
Yeah, I love that. What's on your heart tonight?
I have struggled for weeks. I'm just stuck. So I found out that my divorce will be final on April the 16th. And like I cannot get peace. I can't find the peace.
Yeah.
I know that it's almost like I've been left to clean up this mess that he's made in our marriage. And you know, I know that this word gets thrown around lightly, but like the narcissistic behavior, he's definitely that. And so like in my mind, it's very like I'm very torn. because it's like one minute he's love bombing and telling me that he's changing and that he's getting the help that he needs. And it's like I want to believe him. But then I'm afraid when I'm with him. Like I don't feel safety at all. Like my heart isn't safe. It's not good for me. It's not good at all. And I feel like that I've tried even in our separation to still go and still like talk to him, and I'll go and give him his mail or whatever, and we'll go out to eat. And then he can turn so quick. And for like Valentine's, we went out, and then he threatened to leave me at the hotel by myself, and it was like a bad storm. So I just know that he's not safe for me at all.
Yeah.
But I know that God can change people.
Mhm.
I'm really just struggling with it's not necessarily letting go, because I feel like I already have let go. But it's like I just need to find the peace that I really am doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so tired of like messing up everything in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that marriage is hard, and I know that relationships are hard, and I know that you get triggered by everything in your childhood whenever you are married. So it's like, am I doing enough?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can see how you would feel torn, like you said. Like, this is hard to be in this relationship when he's like this. And am I doing the right thing? And yeah. And
he started drinking again, and it's just, it's like one side of me is like shaking myself saying, get away from him. And it's like the other side of me is like, well, am I doing everything that I need to do? I mean, it's so stupid. I mean, it's just, it feels so, I feel so bipolar, and no, I'm not.
Yeah. There's something on that I'd love to explore. Not the word bipolar. Sorry. There's something on your demeanor changed, and you got there was like a strength that rose up when you said, one side is shaking myself, the other side is, am I doing enough? And I'd love to give both of those sides some space, just to be heard. That's really what I get the impression of providing you with tonight, is just space to be heard. How does that sound to you? Does that sound inviting? Do you want something different? What are you thinking?
I just, I don't have a lot of friends because I run from people bad. I'm afraid they can't handle my mess.
Yeah.
So, and I don't get on here much. I mean, I get on here, but I honestly don't even like showing my face half the time.
I love that you came tonight. And I love that you requested to be coached. Yeah. And I hear you that you feel like your friends can't handle your mess. Yeah.
I feel like that all they say is, the obvious, like I need to leave, right? But I feel like that's honestly like what everybody resorts to, is that you just gotta leave.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've watched my mom go through so much in her marriage. And my dad also cheated on my mom, but they're still together and they made it through. It wasn't healthy. And I don't want to repeat the same thing that my parents did. And I never knew and I never understood why that my mom stayed. Because I mean, he just repeated it over and over and over again and just like was like, where is your self-worth? Like, where is your self-respect that you have for yourself? Like, you can do this on your own. And then, I mean, then I was married for 11 years, got divorced, was on my own for 7 years, and then found the love of my life. So I thought, and he was a godly man. And while I'm working and putting him through Bible college, then he goes and finds someone else. Like, in Bible college, like, what in the world? So there's like so much anger on that. Like, I get so angry because you see so many people in churches, and people in churches aren't perfect, and I get it, but yeah, I'm just ticked. I really am.
Right.
I'm ticked off.
Yep.
And I feel like I have to be the one to leave my marriage because of something that he did.
Mhm. 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 Yeah. What else?
I am mad, hurt, because he really is a good guy.
Mm.
And I know he'll
Mm.
just go on to the next one.
Mhm.
And quite honest, like, I feel like that he hurts people so much. I mean, like, I knew his ex-wives, or he had one wife and the other one, like, they were together. I've known him ever since I was like 14. So a long time. He'd been in and out of my life. So I knew the moms of his kids, but I never even looked at him that way. And then, but then to hear their stories, I get why they said everything that they said. So it's like, he's just not going to change. I'm just another one. He told me in the beginning how that God had changed his life and he wasn't the same and blah, blah, blah. And then I feel like that whole stigma that he put on that is really going to hurt me in the future. For any other guy that ever says that they love Jesus, like, I question, like, am I going to think the same thing of them? Is like, oh yeah, you're a liar, you're a fake. You're going to cheat on somebody else. Like, I don't want it to be like that, but that's the way I feel. Like, inside, I'm like, how am I ever going to trust anyone?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And then I'm like, okay, I'm just destined to be alone. Like, I heard someone say it. It's like singleness is a gift from God. And I feel like I've been single all my life, even though I've been in relationships. I've been in relationships with myself, unfortunately.
Mhm.
And it's only been like a one-sided thing is how I feel.
Mhm. Yeah. Painful. That's really painful. Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess my question is like, where do I go from here? Do I just release the marriage and let it go?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I would love to say that God has something better for me in store, but I'm 40 years old and still hadn't found better.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Can I ask you a tender question and you can say, no, thanks, I don't want to answer that. How I really want to know how you are feeling about you in all of this.
My heart hurts so bad. It didn't have to be this way. So in order to help my heart, I have to just get out and I have to let it go. But it still hurts.
Yeah. Yeah, that's legit. It sounds almost as if your heart is being asked to grieve two things at the same time, like grieving the disappointment of what could have been and grieving what has been, and they almost feel like two things to me. Do they feel like two things to you?
Yeah. Yeah, I get disappointment a lot. Like
Yeah.
that feeling word pops up a lot. Just that I'm just so disappointed of being disappointed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I know I heard one girl talk about how that she needed a guy to be stronger than her to lead. And boy, did that ever hit home for me, because I've just felt like that I've been with men child, or I think that's how you say it, men children that are just like little boys inside.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that I've been more of a mom in relationships, and I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
But
I
yet I
hear
have
ya.
to make the hardcore decisions, like to to make whatever kind of decision that I have to make for myself and for my kids. Like my 18-year-old is a mess because she really loved him, and now she hates him. Like,
Yeah.
and she hates God. Like, it's really, really taking a toll on all of us. So in order for him to get out of the picture is the only way that I feel like that God will ever come into her picture again. Like, I mean, it's hard to go to churches because we traveled around a lot. He spoke at different churches. I mean, we've been all over the US. Like, we were with a group. I won't say who it was just because everybody will probably know who it is, but
Yeah.
we were with an organization, and he drove like the truck for that organization, and like he was a spokesperson for the school. So I mean, he's very well known, and like I just get so upset
Yeah.
because it's like he was the name of the face of the school, and yet everybody looked at him like he was great, which he is. He's a great guy,
Yeah.
just jacked up like the rest of us, I guess.
Mm. Yeah, there's a lot of factors here that make sense, that just how it's compounded, and that you're feeling multiple things for your daughter, for just being in public like that with your husband. Yeah. Wow.
So I guess that's why I don't reach out to people, or I don't have community, because I mean, I guess in a way, I almost feel like that they would take his side over my own, or over my side. Not that they have to take sides, but unfortunately in divorce it happens. I mean, like, it just does.
Mm. And you feel like they would take his side because of the notoriety?
Well, because I'm the one that asked for a divorce, although he chose to step out on me and go have an affair with someone. But yet, because I'm asking for the divorce and he refuses to sign the paperwork because he says that God has not released us from the marriage or hasn't released him, then it's almost like I'm asking for the divorce, so I'm the bad guy.
Mm. Charity, do you believe you're the bad guy in this?
No, no, I don't. I mean, but it's just what people perceive. But it hurts.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's almost like, even the Bible talks about how that there will be sheep or wolves in sheep clothing. And I see that so much in churches, and I hate to even say it, and I hate to even feel that way, because that's not who God is. That's not who God is at all. And it hurts. It hurts my heart that people can be that way.
Yeah.
And my deal is like, I'm pretty dang genuine. And so whatever I say or feel probably is going to come out. And they may see that as being harsh, or I don't know. I'm pretty blunt. So I guess that's why I just feel like that I'm the bad guy, which I know that I'm not, but in their eyes, I guess I would feel that way.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to check in and just see how you're feeling with sharing all of this with me and with the group tonight.
Honestly, like, because again, because of the organization and because I know that he's known, it feels good in a way, but it's like there's a part of me that I really just want to hurt him, like not physically, but like I
Mhm.
just want to tattle.
Mhm.
Just want to tattle on him. But I know that's silly. Like,
No. I love that. There's something there's something on that I want to give you space for. And in fact, I want you to ask Jesus right now what you can do with that desire to tattle. Because I hear you in that. I hear you in that. So I just want you to pause a moment and just listen. You don't have to make an answer happen. Just listen. What do I do with this desire to tattle?
I mean, I think I already know the answer. Like, God always sees the heart. It doesn't matter what he does, like God sees his heart. And whatever you have in your heart is eventually going to come out. So it's like there's a verse that says there's nothing hidden that's not going to be revealed. It just hurts me that people look up to him, and yet he's going to lead so many people astray, and that's not God.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So basically, I just kind of feel like it's not for me to worry about. It's not for me to yeah.
What are you
I
thinking right
think
now?
do it.
Mm-hmm. Just gonna say, what are you thinking right now?
Just that I think some people really do see through him. And I think if anything, it kind of makes me mad that I didn't, you know?
Mm,
It's like, I
yeah.
know people have to see through this junk, but why didn't I catch it? Why
Mhm.
didn't I see it? I've always been so good at scoping people out, and like really like the discernment would really turn on. And for some reason I did not catch it. And it's like I'm angry with myself even that I didn't catch it.
Tell me more about that.
I know that I was in a relationship before him, and like I've even talked to Taylor. I was on a call with Taylor like, I don't know, maybe a month ago, and she told me to grab an object that was like precious to me, and I told her a blow dryer, which I'm a hairstylist, but I laughed about that because before I would like God would draw me so strongly into like talking to him, and I would turn on my blow dryer at work and I would hear like old hymns like playing. It was just like he was drawing me into that place to talk to me. So I think he was drawing me and he wanted just some alone time with me. And instead of running to him, instead of running to God, then I ran to a man that professed to be just like God. And
Mhm.
because all the wants and the desires that I had in my heart, it was to be with a godly man. And I needed that in my life. And again, I thought he was going to be stronger to lead me and my family than I was. And so like everything that he was like, I swore this was God's gift to me. Like really, and I took it like that. Like God had finally blessed me with this gift that I have been praying for years. And
Yeah.
but all in all, like God was wanting his time with me. And so then last week we were on another call and Jenny went through this whole encounter in which I wasn't even on. I mean, I was on the call, but I wasn't the one being coached. And I went through this encounter as Jenny was talking, and dude, like I saw Jesus out on the beach and he was looking in my eyes and he was smiling. And he had this box and he opened it up and it was a ring. And he just said, "Will you marry me?"
Mhm.
So it's almost like he wants to just be married to me. Like he wants my time.
Mm.
Whereas I feel like that I can't be married to anyone, obviously. And again, I know it's not my fault, but I know that he's drawn me into a place with him.
Yeah. 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 Does it feel does being in that place with Jesus, is that somewhere your heart wants to go?
I mean, I'm okay with going there.
Do you think he just wants your time, like you said?
Honestly, I think it's more the trust. He just wants me to trust him right now.
Yeah.
I don't think that I fully trusted him before. And that's that I got involved with who I got involved with. And then I had to trust God. Then I had to put all my trust in him because I was so shattered. I was so
Yeah.
shattered.
Yeah.
And I've even thought to myself, is that why like God even did that? Is just because he didn't want that relationship to work? But I mean, he didn't make the guy go cheat.
Right.
um yeah, I know that he's definitely wanting some alone time with me. And so I think just accepting that is what I'm going to have to do. It's just really, really hard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to give you space to dialogue with Jesus a little bit about that. Is that something you want to do in an encounter here or privately on your own?
We can do it here. It's fine.
Does it feel comfortable to go back to that beach and to see that ring that he's extending to you? Okay. I just want you to see that scene again. And before anything happens, I want you to just feel the ocean air. I want you to feel the sun. I want you to notice what time of day it is. I want you to feel the sand under your feet. I want you to see the demeanor on Jesus's face. I want you to feel and tune in to how he feels about you. I'm just going to give you a moment to pause and just feel like you're there. Do you have any questions for Jesus?
The only question is, why has any physical man never loved me like he does? I just want you to listen for a moment. Just let me know any sense or impression that you get. The only thing that's coming up is that I've detected love not the same as his love.
Mm. Mhm. I want you to ask him, Jesus, how can my heart take one step towards trusting you today?
Jesus, how can I take one more step in trusting you today with my heart? I just see him stepping back and then motioning me to come to him.
Mm. What does it feel like to take a step towards him?
Like I don't want him to let go of me.
I want you to say that to him. Mm. I want you to check in with yourself on the inside and just start observing emotionally how you feel. Just let me know when you have a sense of it.
I'm good and I'm at peace, honestly.
Really? When did that peace come in?
Because whenever I asked him not to let go of me, then he just like grabbed me.
Hmm. Take a moment for your heart to absorb that. I want you to see that. See him grabbing you, see him holding you. Just let his grip become really real to you on that beach. That grip is saying many things to you. It's communicating many things to your heart. I just want to speak over you. I'm hearing this word satisfied or satisfaction. That your heart is being invited to discover how Jesus' love satisfies, not in a Christianese way, not in the way we can all smile and nod and say, yeah, that's true, but in like a visceral way where you actually feel the satisfying effect of his love inside of you in your daily experience. Yeah. So we thank you for that, Jesus. And any heart that's open tonight that longs for that, I just thank you for giving that to them too. That there's a simultaneous hunger for you and a satisfaction of you. May we feel your longing for us, your desire over us. I thank you for Charity and her honesty and her journey. Thank you for her willingness to share with us tonight what's happening inside of her. I thank you that her eyes are going to grow more and more accustomed to noticing your presence with her through this whole process, whatever it looks like tomorrow. I thank you for the peace. I thank you for this scene with you on the beach, holding on to her. Yeah, in Charity's heart, I just give you permission to seal this on your heart, this vision. You can step back into it if you're feeling like you're losing your peace. Thank you, God.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for being so willing to share. Yeah. Thanks for being seen. I know, like you said, that hasn't always been something you wanted to necessarily do in these calls, and it just means a lot to me that you were willing to do that. I think you're going to find a lot of love in the chat box whenever you take a look at it. Yeah, it's a lot of people cheering for you. Yeah.
Thank
Do you have
you.
any? Yeah, you're welcome. Did you have any last thoughts that you wanted to share? You don't have to. I just want to make room for it.
I mean, I think one thought that comes to my mind is I've heard people say that when they gave their heart to Jesus, then like Jesus actually gave another guy, another physical man, you know, the okay to marry them. And I just kind of feel like that was the first time that God's ever asked, or Jesus has ever asked me to be like truly his in an encounter, or whatever you want to. Like, I've given my heart to the Lord a long time ago whenever I was a kid, but like, this is way different. This is like he's asking me to marry him for the moment. And I think that if I truly trust and just let go of what has caused me to be in this place, then I really truly believe that God's going to give me the right one. But God or Jesus will be the only one to give that to me, you know?
Mm.
And I think that's truly important.
Yeah.
It's not just to go on what they say to you, to, you know, the masterminds between people saying how much that they love you, and I want to hear God's heart on it. And I think that's going to be the difference.
Love that. I love that for your heart. Yeah. I love that. It's been such a pleasure just to be with you in this space. I'd love it if you kept us posted if you want.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yep. You take care.
Thanks.
All right. Karis, you are next.
Hi, Bree.
Hi, how you doing?
Ooh, girl.
Ooh,
I am struggling quite a bit right now.
okay. All right.
I'm just going to air some of that out.
Yep.
When I realized this was the encounters call, I was like, whoa. And right now I'm feeling so much safer empathizing with Charity and Breezy and being in other people's stuff. And I was like, I saw the list and I was like, oh wait, this person should go ahead of me. And yeah, I want to vocalize how much I like care so much for the people on this call. Like and how like, I'm glad that I feel like my heart is beating now. Like I want to retreat so much. And I'm glad that I don't get the chance to, you know? I mean, I have the chance to, because I don't want to. And I'm glad that I'm in a space where I feel it and it's not just like the automatic shutdown.
Yeah.
Before I got on the call, or after, I've been considering the difference between pain and grief. Rev is on the call, Jordania is on the call, and Georgie, it's easier. And we talked about it a couple of days ago. And anyways, I'm like, I want to grieve, you know, like that's what the last thing that I got from a coaching call was, you know, that it's okay. I know that it's okay. It's what I've been trying to do. It's what I've been trying to do. And then I saw this video and I was so honored, but then so like defensive at the same time, because I felt accused. And I know that was not the heart of what was being said, but it was just like, I guess my little pastor's kid feeling like, oh, somebody's saying this and that's not what I meant. Was that what I meant? Like, is that what they're saying I meant? No, they're talking to a billion people. They're not talking to me. So it's not, even though it has to do with me, it's not about me. So like, I'm in a triggered state is what I would guess. And I don't want to be here. And I just want to, like, there's not enough time. There's not enough time. It doesn't feel like there's enough space. So I just want to give it away. I mean, like, not here, like, yeah, here, but just like in general.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's where I am.
Yeah. Yeah. You are doing so good. Oh my gosh. You're doing so good. Thank you for coming on. Yeah.
I brought tissues
I
with me
love,
this time. I knew that was I
yeah.
was gonna need that.
I'd love to just walk with you in whatever steps you want to take tonight. And that there's no pressure to get anywhere.
Okay.
No pressure. We don't have to do an encounter. We don't have to, it's totally up to you. So I just want you to remember that the reins are in your hands and you can say, I want to stop at any time. Deal?
Yes.
Okay. But also at the same time, I'm not just going to leave you, you know, I want to be here with you in this. So does it feel okay to start with just a little bit of awareness in the trigger, just physically what's happening right now for you?
Okay.
Okay. So if you could describe to me what's happening in your body, where you feel this pain kind of energetically inside of you, that would be really helpful.
Right now I feel an inner shudder. It's very slight and kind of like right here.
Yep.
But I go in between whenever I started, like it's just in between numb and, then jumping into someone else and my like disassociated empathy, like being in someone else's story. And then it just feels so safe to me.
Yeah. 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 I think that's amazing that you're able to see that feels safe to you, safer to be with somebody and their stuff than to be here. That's so powerful just to even put that into words. And that inner shudder, you're feeling it are in your heart area.
Like in,
Up here.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. If you were to ascribe a color to that, what would it be?
Black.
Black. Yeah. Yeah. This question's a little bit more tender, so just take your time or say pass. If there is a fear lurking in that space, something that feels scary to listen to or to look at, can you describe what the fear is?
I'm scared that I will be blocked again. I'm trying to, I've been thinking about my sister, Stephanie,
Mm-hmm.
and how many times I've tried to grieve.
Mm-hmm.
And every time in the beginning, in the first few months, every time I tried, it got messed up. And I already tried everything I know how to try, and I don't know what else to try.
Yeah. Almost sounds to me like you really want to do grieving right. And you're not sure how to do it. Is that what you're feeling?
I think I'm mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
When when the last time I talked to her, I was sick with the flu and I didn't know it. And then I was out for a couple of days, and that's when she took her life. And when I woke up and, not woke up, but, when I was healthy enough to, get out of bed and realize, okay, I haven't gotten a phone call. And it's just like so many things. There is that. And then there was me reaching out to my mom, and Stephanie was with her the whole time. And she like had just gotten out of the hospital, and she sent her to her, like, I'm not mad at my mom. It happened. I am mad at my mom, but not about that. And when the Lord was so kind to me, when I called the police to see, to go and check on her, because I knew that it wasn't right. I knew that something really bad had happened. And the Lord spoke to me the night before the police found her body. And when I was trying to be there for my mom, and then now I just feel like I'm shutting down.
Okay.
I was trying to be there for my mom.
Yeah.
I found out the way they told me was so wrong. And I'm like, don't tell my mom. And I'm like, I'm going to be here for my mom. We'll take care of this later. I'm there. I'm surrounded with my 3 kids alone at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I call my mom and like, you come over. I went into work mode. My mom asked me that night to do her hair. I'm like, for one of the first times, I'm like, I just can't do it right now. The next day she didn't show up, and I thought we were going to be together and look at pictures together and plan the funeral together. And she did it with a bunch of friends from her old past. I was stuck at home again, alone, without a car, without a way to even go and participate. And when my husband came home that night, and I told him, he was like, well, Karis, you need to tell her, even if it's messy, thank you, God, for Gordon. And I went, and I was messy, and it wasn't pretty. And I, for the first time, stood up to her, and she was like, well, my daughter died. And I'm like, my sister died. And I'm like, sorry for you, but I'm grieving too. And I'm like, good luck. I know you and your friends, you can do your thing, but I can't do this with strangers. I'm not interested in that. And I left. So I didn't get to be a part of that. And I told Gordon, like, I almost don't even want to go to the funeral. He was like, you do. And you do. And I went. And while I was sharing from my heart, my eulogy or whatever, I was told to stop talking, and I didn't. And I'm so glad that I didn't. But one of the things that I did was I had a piece of paper, and I wrote down the things that I thought, these are the things that I was going to do with Stephanie. These are the ways that she was going to be here for my family, for my children. She's going to be there for Naya's wedding. And she's going to be here to help me walk them through whatever. And I wrote it down on the paper, and I let other people, I said, I'm going to put it down here, and the things that you want to write, I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to put it in an envelope. I'm going to put it in the casket. And my sister-in-law asked to read it. And I was like, that's fine, just as long as you give it back to me. Because I left it there, for people to write on. They're allowed to read it as much as they want. And she took it, and she was scared about it. And so my mom came up, and she was like, I would like to have it. And she was ready to give it to her because she didn't want to lose it. Well, my mom lost it. And so I didn't get to put it in the casket. My sister didn't want to have embalming fluid in her. The guy who did the stuff, I told him not to do it. And he was like, just before we bury her, he's like, you were told that she was there for 3 or 4 days. Like, I just want to let you know that her blood vessels were, whenever I did this, I put shoe polish in the embalming fluid. I'm like, what? Like, what? And then I'm like, if I had a toy that I wanted to put in that represented something for me in the casket. And he said that he did the embalming, whatever. I didn't want you to do that anyways. Like, she was molested, she was raped, she didn't want anybody to touch her body. And
Yeah. Yeah.
and I was responsible for her when she was in the hospital. And I told them not to let her out. And they let her out anyways.
Yeah.
She wasn't ready, and I knew she wasn't ready.
Yeah.
And I'm really mad that my mom let her go. Why did she was I'm just
Yeah.
and so many times after that I tried.
Yeah.
I'm just mad, and I think it's like I felt like I can't say it. I can't say it. For so many reasons I can't say it, and I can't share it because it's not allowed.
Oh. Sweet woman, you were pointing to your voice earlier when you said you felt that black block. And in so many of the stories you shared with me, you didn't get to have a voice. You didn't get to have your voice for your sister. Or for yourself. Yeah.
I wanted to be there for her. I wanted to be there for her more than I was.
I know. Yeah.
I didn't know how to talk to the doctors. I didn't know how to stand up for her. And when people are caregivers, doctors and nurses are there, they're telling you, and like, God.
Yeah.
And you've got to be nice to them, like they're in control. They're with her 24/7. You only get an hour of visitation a day. That's it.
Mm.
And I want to be nice to them. I don't care if they're doing their job right or not. I want to be nice to them so they'll treat her well,
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't control that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
almost wish that I had just given it to him anyways, because it didn't help me trying to be nice.
I can see why you're angry. I can see why anger was what you were feeling at the beginning. And then as you shared how you let yourself get angry there, that was really powerful. And I'm sorry that there's been this time between the incident until now where you felt like you actually didn't have the space to be angry or the permission to be angry. That sounds really hard that it's just been hanging out here in your body. How you doing over there?
I'm hearing my son breathe me in the hallway. I locked the door. I guess it's just just hearing him right now, I feel like I know we're all human, you know, and I know I'm a mom, and I know my mom is a mom, and I know she's a human, and I allow her to be human. I hate that I hurt my kids. I hate that she hurts me. I hate that people hurt people. And I want to love him. I want to go and get off the call and stop his pain. But it, like, I think it was Charity when she was talking. It's like, you know, I love him. I want, you know, but it's like, you know, we do have to take care of us. And when we take care of us, because we're not God. I can't be everywhere. I can't do all the things that I want to do. I cannot be present. I can't climb into my kids' hearts or their hands or their heads. I can't be there for them the way that I want to. And me trying to be nice, me trying to do things perfectly, it's worse. It's not helping. It's more than not helping. And trusting God to be with Ethan, my 2-year-old, almost 2-year-old, on the other side of that door right now. I'm glad I'm sitting here. I just don't like it. I don't like to hear pain. I don't like to see pain. I don't like to know that we're doing this to each other. And nobody, you know, the nurses at the hospital, they see these people every day. You know, this is their life. They have chosen to give their life to do this. Yeah. And they don't know. They're trying to help, you know? We're all just doing our best. And this is what happens when we all do our best. Yeah. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
What is that? How can I be okay with that? That's why I put so many demands on myself. Like, I need to be better. I have to be better because it's not okay how it is. It's not okay that this is how it just works. I don't like it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Tell me more, Karis.
I just know he's so much better than I can ever know. And I want to know him. I want to know. I just want to know why I can trust you. Why? Because it doesn't make sense. And it's so scary to know that it can all fall apart, that there are no guarantees, that everything is going to be okay. That's what religion is. Religion is that if I do this, if I pray right, if I worship enough, if I do the program right, if I stay on the right week at the right time, if I follow my process, the unknown bit and how it was written and predestined before time, somehow, religiously, if I can do that, then it will all be okay. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
But he's better than that. And I know he's better than that. But when I feel, I don't believe he's better than that. And so I don't like to feel because I want to believe.
Yeah. I'm tracking with you. Yeah.
And I hate the feelings because they feel like they draw me away from him.
Mm.
They feel like they lie to me,
Mm.
like they steal from my kids, they steal from my marriage, they steal from my life. And worst of all, they steal from my present concept of who God is because I'm too scared to know who he's trying to show me who he is. I'd rather just stay where I was when it was Eden, when it was good, when I thought I could hear him.
Yeah. 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 Just feel like I got to hear like this raw cry from your heart. And it was so beautiful and honest. And I feel like I can't speak for everybody in the group, but I know that you put words to my own heart's cry at times. And you've done that in the group with your words before many times. And I just want you to know that I think your process, whatever it looks like day to day, it really matters. Like this moment really matters. And before, earlier when you said you were feeling numb, like that moment matters too. It's not like you're in and out of your process or on and off the path. It's like this is it, right? It's unfolding before you, and sometimes it feels like nothing, and sometimes it feels like too much at once. But you keep saying yes to it. You keep saying yes to it, and that's amazing. Would you check in with your body? Just kind of see how you're feeling.
I feel a little tight and shuddery in my hands, but not where it was before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You can take this or leave this, but I feel like increasingly as you move forward, you connecting with your voice is really important. Some days that could look like journaling. Some days that's telling your husband what's happening. Some days that's telling the group here at Alive and Free what's happening. But for you to have that space where you actually get to speak about the anger or whatever other emotions that you feel like you haven't been allowed to have, for those to come up and out sounds really important. Does that resonate?
It kind of feels like right now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's good that you even know that. You can see that, because that may not be the piece that you need. Are there other thoughts bouncing around inside that you want to share?
Right now, my thought is that I want to be able to, I'm thinking about the time and I feel like it's coming to a close and I don't want to miss what's in the chat, but
Mhm. Yeah. So why don't you take the last few minutes and go absorb the chat? And I just want to thank you for being willing to be here tonight, being willing to be seen and sharing the cry of your heart. That was really powerful to be with you in that. Yeah.
thank you.
Okay. All right. Go soak up some of that love in the chat, okay? Okay. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and just close out with some prayer tonight. And I'm going to just give you some time to be quiet with your own heart and to gather your own feelings and what's happening inside you right now. So I'm just going to pause and then I'll kind of wrap it up from there, okay? And Jesus, we just thank you for the sacredness of what was shared tonight. Thank you so much that you know each woman inside and out. You know their next step. You know how to untangle all of their pain. And I just thank you for being the one who knows how to do that. I bless each woman in here with deep sleep that feels really restorative. And I thank you just for the gift of all of us being able to hold space for one another. Yeah. Thank you for hearing the cries of each of these hearts. Yeah. I thank you for each of the unique journeys in here. All these things, Lord, we just thank you and praise you. And in your name, amen. All right, guys. It was sweet to be with you tonight. Thanks for interacting in the chat and just with each other. And I hope that, yeah, my prayer for you just really comes true, that you do have really deep and restoring sleep, okay? All right. Hannah, would you mind leaving the room open just for a couple more minutes so people can catch up with the chat? Awesome. So we'll go ahead and close it down just a couple minutes from now. Lots of love, you guys. I will see you around the group, okay? Okay, bye.